What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel, and today I am very excited to bring to you guys the debut episode of our new main channel Madden 22 franchise. Sorry for the delay. Supposed to drop on the weekend. Things came up. Tried it again on a Monday. Things came up, but it's now the time to finally get in and break the news to you guys about what team we're going to be controlling as our main channel franchise. For those of you that are fans of Pink Slips, it's not going anywhere. It's just on pause for the time being, and I do have plans for that series. And it's not even really at a later date. It may be a week or two off, just so we can focus on this series. So originally, I was going to do the Carolina Panthers. I was excited to do the Carolina Panthers. They were one of the worst teams in Madden, but I did decide that I was going to wait until the scouting update dropped in franchise mode. And unfortunately, in that time, the Carolina Panthers in real life played out to be pretty dang good. And I think once Christian McCaffrey returns, they're going to be a legitimate playoff contender. We found out that just playing franchise in Madden 22, the Panthers are one of the best teams just consistently, all the time. Christian McCaffrey, MVP winner, favorite, anything in between, all the time. And then they traded for one of the highest rated corners in the game in Stephon Gilmore. And then I just got too many people reaching out and saying, C4, you can't do the Panthers anymore. They are too good. And I unfortunately came to the same conclusion. I was like, all right, I gotta get a new team here, unfortunately. And I was looking around, and it was important to me. Don't have to do this. May not be as well received as I think, but I did not want to step on any toes. Be it a big creator or small creator, if there's an already new franchise currently on YouTube for one of the other teams that I was considering, I did not want to step on any other toes. And I feel like more than ever, especially these last 2 years of Madden on YouTube, it's not been great for most creators. So if you're like, hey, C4, I really want to see you do a Bears rebuild, Bears main franchise, Go. There's another franchise out there. I actually think CK Birds is doing the Chicago Bears. I would much rather than doubling up and having two Bears franchises, you just go find other creators, explore other creators, and they can do the team that you want to see me do. So the Bears were off limits. I wanted the Texans. Everyone and their dog does the Texans. I was really intrigued by the Pittsburgh Steelers, but TD Barrett has a Pittsburgh Steelers series on, so again, didn't want to do that. You have teams like the Seattle Seahawks with Russell Wilson, and moving on from Russell Wilson, but I did not want to do a franchise mode where I clearly was moving on from a certain player and specific players. Like, that was the framework to the series. Same kind of fell in here for the Green Bay Packers, where it's like, if people want to see me do Green Bay, but they want to see it under the implication that Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers are leaving. And I don't really want that looming over my franchise. I'd rather something happen a little bit more organic. So at least for the Packers, I gave you guys a realistic rebuild because I did feel, a little bit bad because the Packers were near the top of my poll. Raiders sound real interesting post John Gruden, but Jerome PKR has a great Raiders series already going. Go check that out. You got Bengal with the Lions, Jets. Constantly, I put them on the poll. I'm intrigued by the Jets, but they're always the lowest rated team on any feedback poll that I did. So I was like, all right, maybe just no one wants to see the Jets. Jaguars, much like the Texans, everybody has their own series on them. So, for sure, just look elsewhere. The Falcons, I think Mr. Hurricane was doing a Falcons series. And I know Param Crow, Falcons series. So go check them out. Go support them out. Dolphins was the one team that I think I truly wanted to do the most. But there was already another Dolphins series on YouTube. So I was like, man. Maybe next year, man. I really did want to do the Dolphins. But didn't fall out that way. I'm not doing the Colts because, things still haven't healed over for Carson Wentz. So we are now at a spot where we know we can't do the Carolina Panthers. So what team can I take my talents to and make our main channel franchise?
Alright, let's get this chip.
This that Philly devil, pulling up and I don't need a rental. Quick pitch to the outside, it's a house call C4 special. Take a check and we run it up. Got Quez heading up the sideline when it's do or die. We run it up, ain't trying to flex, but it's high time that the eagle fly.
Gotta give a huge shout out to Gatsby for hooking us up with the theme song for the Eagles franchise. He's a fan of the channel, reached out, said, C4, you need some heat for this banger of a series, so he created the banger there. I'm gonna play the full song at the end because there's a lot more to it that sounds way better. I just need a little snippet, a little bit of preview. All of his links are in the video description. Go check them out. Absolute fire. Let's break down this series. We're starting active week 7. And before we finish this episode, we will get into this Vegas game. I'm not letting you guys leave without any gameplay, but I wanted to inherit this 2-4 Eagles squad. Even though they're an 81 overall, that's very much an inflated rating. They are a bottom 10 roster for sure in Madden 22. If not, you could argue they're pushing bottom 5. Why did I want to do the Eagles? Well, it was important to me, above all, not to do a franchise that already existed on YouTube. I feel like times are tough in the Madden community on YouTube, and the last thing I want to do, like, if you want me to do a different team that wasn't the Eagles, maybe while still watching the series, because the series is going to be amazing, you could search other teams and find other creators, because they need it, man. It is tough right now being a Madden content creator, and that was important to me. Also, anytime I did a poll about what team we should do if we were to move off the Carolina Panthers, Philadelphia was always second or third place in all these different polls. So I know, obviously, we have a very strong Philadelphia Eagle following. I knew it would go over well for me to go do the Philadelphia Eagles, and it really just seemed like the only negative for the Eagles was not necessarily people didn't want to see an Eagles-style, franchise. There were that many bias. I was confused by that. What do you mean bias? I like and also hate the Eagles probably as much as anybody on YouTube. So I feel like they're going to get a authentic and raw experience watching me control the Philadelphia Eagles now instead of waiting next year. Waiting until 2023 for Harry Roseman to actually botch the 3 first-round picks that we have at our disposal. You look at the Philadelphia Eagles roster, which we will break into a little bit later. Our most expensive player, Carson Wentz, not even on the roster, not even on the team. He's with the Colts. So there's just so much intrigue with this roster. I am genuinely excited to try and do all of the work that is going to take us to rebuild this squad. So, I guess the first thing is we talked about those 3 first-round draft picks. We have our own pick, the pick from the Miami Dolphins, and currently, as long as Carson Wentz plays 13 games, I think it is, we have the Colts first-round pick. 3 first-round picks. So what does that mean for the draft? I made a poll to you guys. Do you want to see me use Madden-generated draft classes or use my custom realistic draft classes? And it was like over 10,000 votes, 55% to 45%. You guys wanted to see Madden-generated draft classes, so that is what we are doing here. Here's a very quick snapshot of the prospects. We got a lot of things to go through today, so it'll probably be episode 2 when we look a little bit more into this draft class. But what is right out the gate, there are a lot of first-round caliber quarterbacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 first-round QBs. So I guess for a team that doesn't really know the future of that quarterback spot, that's good for us to kind of handle. The bad thing about starting this franchise in week 7 is I have no control over our scouting team. This is the scouting team I inherited. You can't fire scouts after a certain date. So this is what we're working with. It's not bad. I mean, having a safety expert is good. Our safeties aren't great. Having a tier 3 quarterback expert is huge, given that we don't know if Jalen Hurts is going to be the guy. Can always use a wide receiver. The bottom 2 are I don't need running backs. I think running backs is one of the few positions that Philadelphia is absolutely good on. And then we have a tier 2 scout that's on the offensive line. And I suppose right guard, Brandon Brooks is getting up there in age. Center, Jason Kelsey's getting up there in age. Sure, it's not the exact scout team that I would personally have, but we got to work within the parameters of the game. That's what they're giving us. If that's what they're providing us, we will find a way to make it work. I suppose, let's take a look at the settings that I'm going to be using for this series. XP sliders are going to be default, just 100. I actually feel XP sliders are very good this season. The only thing I have adjusted are the special teams. Kickers got a little bit of a bump, as well as punters. Our gameplay sliders are going to be a little mismatch. I have Matt 10's Madden 22 sliders, and then just slightly tweaked a little bit in certain areas. They are Matt 10 sliders. Copy and paste until it gets to pass defense and pass coverage. He rocks 5 and 5 on both, human and CPU. I felt like, and that's what I used for the Pink Slip series, I felt like that just caused a couple, brain farty plays that were really frustrating. So I found another set of all Madden sliders, and they had them at 47. So that is at least what we're going to start with. We can always tweak it a little bit, but if you want to look at the slide, I guess you could just pause the video and rock and roll going. 12 injuries, 52 fatigue, 75 speed threshold. Up the penalties just a little bit, gives different animations in game. But these are the sliders I'm rocking and rolling. And essentially, they're just Matt 10 sliders. And then for the league settings, I'm going to take franchise and let it do whatever it wants to do to me. We're going to rock it on all Madden. Usually, I turn certain things off. Felt like, let's go, baby. I turned off relocation. Injuries are on. Fatigue's on. Practice injury is on. Prospect storylines are on. Dev trait regression is on. I almost always turn that off. I just want to see, did they get it right? Is it fixed? Is it realistic? Does it work properly? I want to give it a chance to prove itself. And then if we get into the offseason and there's just some stupid things happening, we can always turn it off and I can just manually adjust it. But I want to see what's going to rock and roll there. 9-minute quarter length. Everything else is going to be, kind of controlled there. Nothing too crazy with the settings. I am excited to see. I've never done anything yet with the progressive fatigue and or practice injury on and with dev trait regression. So I'm interested to see what's going on. At least for difficulty with All Madden, we'll start on All Madden. I mean, we got to a point once our team was unstoppable and developed really nicely in pink slips. I could win on All Madden. I won a Super Bowl on All Madden. It was very tough before our team became really, really good. I'm assuming that's what we're going to expect here with this Eagles squad. But might as well start at All Madden. Who wants to see me win right out the gate? You know, if we were gonna win, I want it to be earned, and that's how you earn it on All Madden. Go to the coaching staff. If you pay attention to the top right hand of the screen, I am an owner, a custom owner, because I don't want to be Nick Sirianni. I don't know if Nick Sirianni is the coach that is going to bring the Philadelphia Eagles back to the Super Bowl. So as it relates to spending our staff points, I'm going to be conscientious of that. I don't want to be spending points on Sirianni if I know come this offseason there is a head coach that I clearly want more than Nick Sirianni, a coach that I clearly trust more than Nick Sirianni to lead this team into the future. So I'm probably going to side a little bit more to spending our points here, maybe on player personnel, working on the contracts, working on making Philadelphia a hot spot for free agents to come and trade, because we do need to repair a relationship a little bit. Howie Roseman has absolutely burned a lot of bridges. Seems like there are more players than not that would rather not come to Philadelphia because of, just really everything that happened with Carson Wentz, the fallout since the Super Bowl for the Eagles. So, kind of spending points in contracts is essentially me rebuilding, the GM aspect of the Eagles squad. And at least that way there, if we do decide to move on from Sirianni, we're not going to be losing a bunch of staff points because we just, essentially fired him, versus spending on player personnel, which is always going to be there. So that is that. We only have 7 points. I did not start with the bonus. I didn't want that pop. I don't like they fix that pop. Remember that pop-up? You got 40 points to spend or whatever your pre-order was. I just didn't want to deal with that. But ultimately, big picture for the staff as it relates to that is I don't really want to commit to Sirianni. But I think it is fair right now to start with Sirianni before we preview the roster that everybody has a clean slate right now, regardless of how I feel, regardless of how I potentially reacted in real life to certain players in this series. Sirianni to Hurts to Jalen Reagor and everybody in between has a clean slate. If you could prove to me at some point in this season, as we close out 2021, that you're going to be valuable to the rebuild of this Eagles squad, I'm going to make it work. Now it's time to meet the roster. And you remember what I said. Sirianni, everybody has a clean slate. Everybody, regardless of how I feel about you in real life, your performance in real life, what you can do for me in this franchise is what's important for this series. So looking at the quarterback room, we remember my reaction to when the Philadelphia Eagles drafted Jalen Hurts. Wasn't very good, but he's our guy right now. This is his season to prove that he could be our quarterback, especially with, 6, 7 first-round caliber quarterbacks in the draft. If he's not the guy, no sweat off my back. We have 3 first-round picks to probably invest in one of those QBs. But let's see what he can do. He's not a bad Madden quarterback, 71 normal. If you ignore the throw power, which is hard to ignore, 86 throw power is not good. If you ignore the fact that he's a 36th ranked QB in the league, he can make plays with his legs. Fits my play style as a user, 87 speed, 89 acceleration. The accuracy isn't too bad. Throwing the run's pretty good. Break sack, all that things. It's just the throw power, man. That's a tough sell. But, we get him up to a star dev somehow. We hit a dev trait here or there. And suddenly Jalen Hurts becomes the quarterback. He comes the second coming to Donovan McNabb. And he is going to lead this squad to another Super Bowl. He has that opportunity. I'm going to give him that opportunity. It's not like after one bad game, I'm going to pull him out, throw in Minshew Mania, and run wild, brother. Hey, if there's an injury or something like that, by all means, we can go, look at that guy. The guy's a goddamn goddess. But the only thing I'm really going to state on Minshew right now is that he's for sure ahead of Joe Flacco as QB2. But figuring out what's going on at QB for the Philadelphia Eagles, figuring out what do we have in Jalen Hurts is easily the most important thing for this year one to figure out. Running back room. I'm not going to be Nick Sirianni. We are going to feed Miles Sanders. I am very bullish on this Eagles running back room. Sanders, 83 star, only 24, very high ceiling. Everything you need in a modern running back can catch, explosive, home run hitter. Then you throw in the fact that we got one of the best value picks of the draft, regardless of if it came to my Eagles or not. Kenny Gainwell out of Memphis, 74 normal as a rookie. He is very elusive. He can catch the ball in the backfield. He's going to be our third down running back on our depth chart because I do want to get him touches. And then you also have the giant killer in Boston Scott. I don't want to jinx any injuries. But if you told me at any point one of these guys would have to be our RB1, obviously Sanders hopefully stays healthy. But if Sanders goes down, we got to go Gainwell. If Gainwell goes down, we got to go Boston Scott. There has been ridiculous injury crises happen in Madden. Any 3 of these guys, as an Eagle fan, I 100% can rock with as our RB1. So I like our RB room, very happy with that. Flipping to the wide receivers, Devontae Smith, one hell of a pick. On pace to get 1,000 yards as a rookie receiver. And we have pretty much an awful passing attack, so it's very impressive within its own right. 77 hidden dev. We've used Devontae Smith already in Madden 22. He's been pretty damn good. And I am very excited about what his ceiling, what his, can he become a 90X factor? Can he do something like that? Hopefully. I want to find that out. Jalen Reagor goes with Sirianni. Goes with Jalen Hurts. Know my thoughts about this. Most Eagle fans' thoughts about this. But it's Madden. He has a chance. Clean slate. And when you look at his attributes, pretty good. 93 speed, 85 catching, 94 jumping. He's everything that makes him a pretty damn exciting Madden wide receiver. So hopefully Jalen Reagor can get a little bit of a redemption tour in this series and ball out for us. We have Greg Ward, who's solid. Much like Reagor, JJ, even though it should have been DK Metcalf, has a clean slate for one of the better blocking wide receivers. Why is... of course, we would draft a blocking wide receiver with DK Metcalf. But when I started this series, I kind of went through the Eagles depth chart, wrote it down on a piece of paper, and was like, who are the guys that I want to build around? Who are the guys that, not just year one, but I want to be featured heavily in this squad year 3, year 4, year 5. I had Devontae Smith at wide receiver 1, and I had Quez Watkins at wide receiver 2. If you already watched Pink Slips, you know Quez Watkins is the best sleeper player in the whole game. Madden 22, he plays like a 95 overall. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We know his ceiling. He's outrageous. And I had Quez Watkins as a big-time player. So I'm thinking he's going to be our starting slot here this year. And we are going to force feed Quez Watkins. And we're going to hopefully reach the peaks that we achieved with Quez in Pink Slips here with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think he's that damn good in real life and in Madden. Flipping to the tight end room. So we have no Zach Ertz. Send him to Arizona. We got a 5th-round pick and Tay Gowan. So it is time for Dallas Goedert to be that guy. I think he's an excellent safety net tight end for Jalen Hurts and for whoever is going to be our quarterback of the future. He can do it all. Well-rounded. He can catch. He can block. He's a good athlete. The thing with Dallas Goedert is we know Philadelphia has a pretty bad salary cap situation, and he wants a brand new contract. So that's going to be one of the first big hurdles we need to kind of jump over is, I don't know, 26. So you're going to be looking probably for like a 4-year contract, somewhere in that range. We're going to have to figure that out because Dallas Goedert cannot be going anywhere, especially because we essentially chose him, which was the right thing in real life, over Zach Ertz. You can't do something like that and then just let him hit free agency. We're going to have to figure out a contract extension for Dallas Goedert. Beyond that, the tight end room is not the best. Right now, it's super banged up. We have, Lovato is currently tight end 3. I'm going to release him. As much as I respect, you don't need long snappers, and right now I can't have him as our 3rd tight end. I can't have Lovato out there running routes. We have a tight end on our practice squad, which I'm just going to promote right now. It's Togiai, I believe. Noah Togiai, so we're going to bring him in as our tight end 3, just so that we don't have a freaking long snapper out there, because there's an injury crisis beyond Dallas Goedert. I think in terms of upside, Tyree Jackson's interesting. We've used him as a quarterback in previous Maddens. He has an definitely has more throw power than Jalen Hurts. But ultimately, that could be a position. We got to find depth behind Dallas Goedert at that tight end spot. O-line, Jordan Mailata, one of the best stories in the NFL. Came in from playing rugby, never played football. Now he's a, $50-60 million offensive tackle. Insane. 6'8", 365, athletic freak. One of the highest ceilings out of any tackle in the NFL. Let's rock and roll with that. We have someone here in Andre Dillard who has featured this year because Lane Johnson has missed some time. I'm going to actually throw up on the trade block, see what kind of market is there for him. If not, injuries do happen, especially for the Philadelphia Eagles. And if we have to rely on our depth, could have a lot worse depth than Andre Dillard on the offensive line. But he is a 72. He's only 25. Probably an upgrade for some teams, be it left or right tackle. So I will be interested to see what kind of trades potentially come in. Left guard, we have Sam Malu, who's out with injury. And we have Landon Dickerson, the rookie out of Alabama, 70 with a hidden dev. I'll take any hidden dev rookies that we can get thrown our way for Philadelphia. I still just need to make a point, even though it's a clean slate for everybody. How did you draft this guy over JOK? JOK, the Notre Dame linebacker that's absolutely crushing it right now for the Browns. Supposedly there was medical concerns for passing over Jeremiah Owusu-Koroma. Yet we drafted Landon Dickerson, who had one of the worst injury sheets I've ever seen for a prospect. He had 3 season-ending injuries and stuff. I don't know, man. You got to work with what we got. Got to work with the mess Howie Rosen brought in. And anytime you get a hidden dev lineman, could be a lot worse. Center, we have the best center in the NFL in Jason Kelce. I will tell you right now, I'm making a promise. Jason Kelce will retire a Philadelphia Eagle in this series. That's all that needs to be said there. Right guard, we have Brandon Brooks. He's one of the best right guards in the NFL. When healthy, he's just never healthy. So we're going to have to figure that out, what's going on there. In terms of salary cap, we got to cut ties. Can we trade it? We have Nate Herbig, who's actually fairly solid. Most Eagle fans will agree on that, but just that is a massive discrepancy in ratings. So hopefully we get Brandon Brooks back sooner than later. Right tackle, we have Lane Johnson, my brother from another mother, one of the best right tackles in the NFL. 88 with a superstar. He's the number 3 right tackle in the game. And, you know, pretty much an impossible contract to move on from. Jack Driscoll, who's good. He was debatably our best 2020 rookie. I'm actually going to have Driscoll move in. He's most likely going to be starting at right guard over Herbig until Brandon Brooks comes back. I think Driscoll is actually fairly damn solid. 64 should be higher than that. Personally, if I was being a little bit biased, but I'm happy with the O-line. Have a lot of good depth, a lot of good starters. Expensive starters, but good starters nonetheless. Flipping to the defense. Brandon Graham tore his Achilles. That is a brutal injury to come back from, so we are not going to have him for the remainder of the year. We have Ryan Kerrigan, who just throw him to the other pile of just X and, you know. When was the last time Philly signed someone within the NFC East that was actually good? DeMarco Murray was butt cheeks, Orlando Scandrick, Miles Austin. Throw Ryan Kerrigan right into that mix. It's not great. So we're going to have to go with Josh Sweat, who got a brand new contract extension. Very bullish on him. 77 start depth, only 24. High ceiling, fun player, great athlete. I'm excited to potentially develop him into something special. And then we have Derek Personal Foul Barnett. We're going to slide to the other defensive end spot. He will fill in for Brandon Graham. Hasn't done anything since, the Super Bowl. And he's most likely going to be one and done. Defensive end is a position we need to get better at and strengthen in this first offseason. But, I guess it's fair to say, if we're talking about that for Jalen Reagor and JJ and Jalen Hurts, for someone like Barnett, who I was never a fan of at the get-go when we drafted him, he has a chance. He's going to play a lot this year, and if he can, we get in with him, we use him, he's unblockable, maybe we'll find a way to get a little bit of a redemption here and an established player in this series. Inside the D-line, we have Fletcher Cox, X Factor. Let's go. Probably going to user him a lot. Very expensive. Well, we got that fearmonger ability, and I think Fletcher's going to be able to do some good things for us. We have Javon Hargrave, who has been simply unstoppable in real life this year. 84 with a star. Look at the stats. There's another reason why I wanted to start live. Look at the stats. 8 TFL, 6 sacks. He has just been dominant, man. And yeah, some of that is Fletcher Cox commanding double teams. But between that and you throw in Milton Williams there, the 3rd-round pick, who's a very good athlete for a D tackle. It's another spot that, unless the salary cap situation becomes so tight and we got to figure out a way to get Fletcher Cox off the books, we are outstanding at that defensive tackle spot. We have depth at that defensive tackle spot, and I'm excited to get in there with Fletch and Javon Hargrave. Linebacker core is not good at all. Avery's meh. He's meh. You have Eric Wilson, who's meh. 2677. I mean, from a Madden standpoint, it's not too bad, but in real life, we're just using him wrong. He's a pass coverage linebacker. We're trying to put him in there as a run defender, and those archetype ratings aren't right. He was a cover guy in Minnesota, and we're trying to get him to affect the run here. It's not good. And you have Alex Singleton, who's a feel-good story. Love the fact that we got a former CFL Defensive Player of the Year. He's just limited. He can't be the guy. If we had an elite linebacker, you could survive with Alex Singleton being that linebacker too. But he's kind of the guy right now, and he's unfortunately just not good enough to be that guy. Davion Taylor's an interesting skill set. Very good athlete, but I just think ultimately across the board, this is the biggest position that we are going to have to figure out, be it in the free agency class, be it in the draft class. We need linebacker help badly for this Philadelphia Eagles squad. In the secondary, it's actually not that bad. Big play, Darius Slay, 89 superstar. Ball hawk, best corner we've had forever. Yeah, I'm not moving on from him. Darius Slay, absolutely need him on the outside. We have Steven Nelson, who's essentially just on a 1-year Band-Aid, but he's not bad either. 81 star dev. We can work with that. Shout out to Moonlight Swami for our 3rd corner here. Not Steven Nelson, but Avonte Maddox. Moonlight Swami absolutely loves Avonte Maddox. Continues to hook him up with a generous rating, 78 star dev. I mean, he's a really, really solid slot corner and offers positional versatility, can play safety as well. And ultimately, when you are looking at this corner room, Avonte Maddox is, as I talked about, I wrote on a piece of paper, guys that I think are going to be here. Year 3, year 4, Maddox was near the top of that list as well. Depth beyond that's, is what it is. We got Gowan. He's the guy that we got from the Zach Ertz trade. Thought he was going to be a little bit higher than a 65 overall, but hopefully our depth doesn't need to be tested at corner. That's all I'll say there. Very limited depth. Free safety, we have the veteran Rodney McLeod, who's solid. Not a great athlete at this point in his career, so we definitely need to start thinking about his successor. And then at strong safety, we have Anthony Harris, who came over from the Minnesota Vikings. He's been meh, honestly, this year in real life, but he's not a bad Madden safety. So I'm going to be interested to see if he just plays a lot better in Madden than he does in real life. But for both those safety spots, another position, much like linebackers, that we absolutely need to address in free agency or most likely in the draft. Kevon Wallace, injured, just can't find a way to get on the field, so it's not great. You have Jake Elliott, who from a Madden standpoint with that 97 kick power, I can work with that. But for a team in Philadelphia that does not have a great salary cap situation, having an expensive kicker is not really the best way to build your roster. So we'll keep in mind with that. Might be able to get his contract sooner than later. And then we have Sipos at punter. Didn't know who he was coming into the year. And honestly, in real life, he's been one of our more consistent players. He's actually been an outstanding punter for the Philadelphia Eagles so far. So we got him there. And this is the way you finish it out there. 3 first-round draft picks. We are going to have to hit on all 3 of these first-round draft picks. And now it's a generated class, so we don't really know what's going on. We don't have our own scouts. It's going to be tough to hit on all 3 of these picks, but that is going to be something that absolutely needs to happen. Our practice squad, got a couple guys there. Might need to start looking if we can poach some players from other practice squads to get better. Get Jordan Howard there. I like Jason Huntley. I really did like the Jacoby Stevens selection of LSU, but ultimately, there's nothing there that I'm rushing to claim off our practice squad. Ultimately, it's an okay, old, expensive roster that has a lot more questions than answers, and that is a very big reason why I'm excited to rebuild the Eagles. So without further ado, fellas, let's get into preparation for this Week 7 game against the Vegas Raiders. Here's going to be our depth chart. Pretty much self-explanatory. I did want to move Jack Driscoll into right guard, but everything else it is our best starters at every single spot. Defensively, we're going Sweat, Hargrave, Fletcher Cox, Derek Barnett. Corners are expected. Specialists, I guess, is where I should kind of break it down. We're going to go Maddox in the slot, Sweat, Cox, and Barnett on that front 3. Eric Wilson will be our sub linebacker. We're going to go Gainwell third down back, Miles Sanders power back, and Quez Watkins at slot wide receiver. Our first game is going to be Week 7 against the Vegas Raiders. Look at what we got for the Raiders offense. So the number 6 passing offense. And why are we working on stopping things that Derek Carr is not good at? Defend the short pass? Well, it's more so the deep pass, which is what we're going to try to stop, because they want to be hitting that home run to Henry Rux. And then you look at their defense. Okay. Pass yards, pretty good passing defense, honestly. What's the best way to target them here? Definitely want to try to avoid Max Crosby. He's unblockable for the most part of the season. I'm thinking just throwing it short. They're the short touchdowns. They're 13, so that's number 9 in the league. Let's go with throw it short. I feel like that's going to be anyways. I don't want to really just throw the deep ball and get punished with Jalen Hurts in this matchup. And now we have our focus players. These are the 3 guys. I might as well set this now for the rest of the year. Devontae Smith, absolutely. You want that dev trait. Feel like Kenneth Gainwell, Milton Williams, you could do a little bit better than that. So we're getting extra training as well. I kind of want it to be players that, I think we'll throw Quez Watkins up there just because he's a fan favorite. But you ultimately do want guys with the dev traits. Like someone like Mailata, right? We want Mailata to be an absolute superstar. I feel like that's probably a good first 3. Let me know in the comment section below what 3 players you think we should focus train here if you go something different than Devontae, Quez, and Jordan Mailata. Our stat points at 7 are not good. We can't really spend anything. So I'm going to look at our weekly team goal, figure out what's going to be the most attainable. I think winning by 17, that's going to be a little tough. I think getting 15 first downs, let's go with that. For the OC, I think rushing for 150 yards. I think that's going to be the way we win here is running the ball. On the defensive side of the ball, don't allow a passing touchdown. I think we can go don't allow a rushing touchdown. And then overall for the weekly game plan here, these are pretty audacious. I think throwing 2 touchdown passes, even though we want to run the ball, let's kind of hedge our bets here, depending on what the Raiders give us. If we have to run the ball or throw the ball, we should at least hit on one of those weekly team goals to help give us some additional staff points here. So let's start our training, see who has a hell of a week, see who's looking good. Make sure there's no injuries, because injuries in training can happen. I'm not really prepared for that to actually kind of fall through there, but we're getting some good boosts there across the board. Happy with it. I'm not seeing any injuries as of right now. I'm sure we'll have to wait to the opening window here. I'm not seeing any injuries, so that is awesome. Have some upgrades ahead of this Vegas matchup as we can get Maddox up a point, 78. Yeah. Might as well spend that. Spend it in the scheme. That's the worst, when you spend in the scheme and they don't go up a base overall point. But it is what it is, man. We are trying to build something here. and it will be more beneficial than not to spend the scheme. My Lotta going up to a 76 overall, which is good. I'm going to act like that was my decision to focus train him, which is helping him out. And that's another thing with the coach tree, man. I want to get that ability that gives you 6 focus training spots. That is going to be very important. But again, we don't want to be spending those points because we don't know if Sirianni's going to be our head coach and just be wasting that. And maybe we'll find a head coach that's on the open market this upcoming offseason, already has some of those skill trees progressed, and it'll just be, we'll be no further ahead or behind than if we just spend our points not on Nick Sirianni's coaching tree right now this season. So I think we're good to go. I mean, I guess you could quickly look at where our stats are this year because we are using the active stats minus, that loss that I just forced against the Bucks. Jalen Hurts is Jalen Hurts. That's what he is. 1,600 yards, 9 touchdowns, 4 picks. He's got a lot of that in garbage time, but he's shown that he can move the ball. He's our leading rusher right now, which is absolutely going to change now that I am going to be at the helm from a receiving standpoint. Almost 400 yards for Devontae Smith, 3 and 2 for Goddard, 300 for Mr. Quez Watkins. On the defensive side of things, Singleton, 58 tackles, been a tackle machine. We got 6 sacks, Javon Hargrave. Excited to see if we can get a little bit more production from Josh Sweat and Fletcher Cox. 2 picks, Darius Slay had both those against the Carolina Panthers. So hopefully we continue to be ball hawks on the defensive side of the ball. It is now time to hop it on the sticks. I'm a little bit nervous after doing all of this, all the groundwork to bring us to where we need to be. I'm not going to worry about contracts. That'll be for the next episode. This is a winnable game for the Philadelphia Eagles. No, other way around it. Obviously, the Raiders, a little bit of turmoil right now with the head coach and all that stuff. This is a time that you can take a team like Vegas, who just got a great win over the Denver Broncos, establish yourselves here, get to 3-4, and prove that this is a team that I can win and operate with on all Madden. So without further ado, let's get it. Are we scared of Derek Carr? I think Darius Slay's in line for a big game. Derek Carr can get loose with the football, maybe even too loose with the football. We can take away the easy pass. Darren Waller, I'm not worried about Josh Jacobs. Take away the easy pass, Darren Waller, then we only really need to keep Henry Ruggs down deep in the back of our minds. I can't stress enough. This has to be a win here for the Philadelphia Eagles. We cannot start this series out with a loss against the freaking Raiders. Let's go, baby. Kickoff return for a touchdown. Jalen Reagor. Not a bad return, actually. Sirianni can't believe it. And here comes QB1, Jalen Hurts. We know the stats. Hopefully we can make him better in Madden than in real life. Okay, let's do the first thing. Eagles fans, this might be weird. First play of the game, we're going to run it with Miles Sanders. Great block there from Landon Dickerson. It opens up. Let's go. Let's go right back, man. I don't.
This that Philly devil pulling up and I don't need a rental. Quick pitch to the outside. It's a house call.
Run the ball. Max Crosby. We know he wants to get to the quarterback. That kind of, liability against the run. I did not expect for a team that just gives Miles Sanders 2 carries. There we go. We're done. If this was Nick Sirianni, like, all right, Miles Sanders got his 2 carries. I mean, that is awesome. If this is realistic, the Raiders absolutely weren't expecting us to run the ball. And Miles Sanders does the damn thing. Second play of the game. Let's go. We're feeding Booby Sanders. What? The start of dreams. First play. We don't even have the X factor for the DC. Like, the first thing you gotta buy on your DC skill tree is the ability to have X factors enabled. I don't even have enough to afford that for Fletcher Cox. And he dominates. What? Need points. Off the fumble. Come on, Jalen. 3rd and 9. Quez? Should be the time. We got Reagor. Give Reagor an opportunity. I think I want to go Quez Watkins here. Or we'll do what Jalen Hurts does best, and that is grab all. Oh, no. Wait, what is that? Is that a touchback? Oh. We are using up all of our luck in this first episode, first quarter. Rest of the series is going to be downhill from here. Good run defense. They're standing up there a little bit. Just keep punching, man. You get that one big run with Miles Sanders. He's hot. He's feeling it. Gotta have to pass this one, though. Third and goal on the 2. Can always keep it with Hurts. I think Goddard, obviously that's the read. That looks pretty good to me. If he can get open, which he does. Easy coverage. I mean, again, the players you want to target, I think, in my personal opinion, is I want to run towards Max Crosby's side, and anytime Jonathan Abram is in coverage, that is who we want to pick on. But a start of dreams here for Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts, Dallas Goedert, up 14-zip. The Raider fans, they're out of it. They're out of it. All right, second 10. Let's go safety blitz. Let's get Harris. Why not? Bring him on a blitz. Let's let him bring the pain. Derek Carr, motion. Oh, there's my worry. There's Darren Waller across the middle. Help a blitz here. See what Sweat can do. Oof. Okay. Oh no! Come on, Fletch blows that play up. Josh Jacobs, you gotta have to full on tackle him. He's too powerful just to arm tackle him. Punishes us there. Too aggressive. Second and 3. We get right in the face, but that is incredibly soft coverage. Henry Ruggs wide open. There we go. Good incompletion there. Big play Slay on Darren Waller. Second and goal from the 9. I think it's time that we dial up another Fletcher Cox bull rush. Oh, he gets double teamed. Okay, third. We got a chance to bend, but not break here. Third and goal. Let's bring the blitz. I think they're probably going to try to get it with Josh Jacobs. So we got Davion Taylor, Wilson. We'll go Davion. Ah, that was Davion's man. They what? That's the long snapper. Second and 7. Let's go back to Miles Sanders. Ah, no block, man. Missed the block at the second level. Dickerson, I think, gonna have to run to that right-hand side. Anything up the middle, anything to the left. Not working well here. Oh, he brought it in. That was late. That was a late throw to Dallas Goedert. He was open. True Jalen Hurts fashion. A late read, but we made it work. Second, now I think we've established the run here enough that we might be able to get them on a play action. Rager, got Devontae Smith. That's actually a pretty good pass. Jalen Rager getting involved. Come on. There we go. Good run. Miles Sanders. Oh, there we go. Another first down. Keep churning. Almost 100 yards. This is how you win, Philadelphia. This is how you win, Nick Sirianni. Oh, they just overcommit, all-out blitz in the inside, bounce to the outside. Not going to find an easier touchdown than that. Second tutty of the game, Miles Sanders, and we are just abusing this Raiders defense. Oh, no. Oh, no. Good run there. Hard run, Josh Jacobs. Oh, wide open. No. No, it's Renfro. Brought down by Anthony Harris. Forgot about Renfro. He could do a lot of damage from the slot. He go nowhere. Good run D right there. Alex Singleton makes the tackle. 3rd and 8. Coming up, the man that thought was getting removed from the game is on the sidelines. I think we should deduct a couple points there. 3rd and 8. Let's get Fletch. Boom, knock you on your ass and absolutely decapitate Derek Carr. The Raiders are going to have to settle for a field goal attempt. And it is good. Okay. I mean, the Raiders are scoring. They're not going away. First and 10. We'll go Dallas Goedert. He's back. He's looking good. What about screen pass? Usually you get a good idea if a team can execute screen passes or not fairly early, and that's actually decent. Second one, go a little read option. See what Max Crosby's saying. And we'll have it just first down. Miles Sanders getting very close to the 100-yard mark, and he actually hits it right there. Time to give Kenny G a snap. 2nd and 8. 2nd and 8's not really a brave call for a rush. But keep him Austin, keep the clock going. At this point, I think grinding down this Raiders defense is going to be to our benefit in the second half. They're going to be very tired. Long drives. 3rd and 6. Who wants it? Boom! Double move. Devontae Smith, wide open. Let's go. We got 1st and goal. Could stay with the run. I'm actually a little bit worried to throw the ball here. But why not, right? Let's be a little bullish. Let's be a little bold. We're up 11. Running back. Oh, that was very close being a pick 6. A little Y stick. What do we got? We got Devontae at the top, Goddard in the slot. Quez out there as well. Gainwell in the backfield. Oh, we got the slant. We got the slant. Devontae Smith, let's go. I think that's his 2nd touchdown of the year. Easy does it. Hell of a route, yet fantastic separation. Tells these noisy. Is there even a black hole now at that new stadium? Tells him to shut up. That's what he does right there. Look at that. I mean, you know, we can always adjust the sliders a little bit because right now, Fletcher Cox. I mean, I'll say this: I'm very happy we didn't start this series last week against the Bucs because I'm pretty sure the Bucs will be doing this to me. This Raiders game is always going to be a winnable matchup, and Fletcher Cox is absolutely feasting right now. He's so mad. He's getting ready to go He's getting ready to go fire off another email. Bruce Allen. Look at that, dominant. It's our focus here. I mean, hey, let's running it to the outside. And on the defense, I mean, what? Just deep pass? They're going to have to start forcing it to Henry Ruggs. Okay, we don't want them to have any momentum coming out of halftime. We have a very substantial lead. Probably should have been a pick there. Especially like Kenyon Drake going deep against Darius Slay. But let's be honest, this is a fortunate 28-10. We had the fumble from Jalen Hurts, which may or may not have gone out the back of the end zone and should have been a touchback. We had the forced fumble on the sack from Fletcher Cox on Derek Carr. It's not like we're, absolutely dominating the Raiders here. We've just had all the lucky breaks go our way, which I am fortunate of. But we do know that those lucky breaks aren't consistent. You can't rely on them. And the better team usually rises to the top. And the Raiders have been able to move the ball. So let's make sure we stifle any momentum that they could potentially have coming out of halftime here. There we go. Good tackle there. Singleton in run defense. Kenyon Drake getting a lot of steps. Is Josh Jacobs hurt? I didn't get a notification that he'd be out. Probably something to monitor. I'd rather go up against a Kenyon Drake than Josh Jacobs, to be honest with you. Fletcher Cox gets home. I was getting ready to be very angry if Willie Snead came down with catch of the year right there. Great stand D. Let's go right now. Right-hand side, this is our advantage. Miles Sanders, nice little juke move on Kwiatkowski. And Jesus, man, just imagine if we get a game like this in real life, where you just let Miles Sanders eat. Would it look like this? Raiders do not have a great defense. 2nd and 4, play action. Jalen Reagor's where we want to go. He gets behind the linebacker in front of the safety. Oh! Oh! Let's go! Clean slate for everybody. That's my best touchdown all year. This has been multiple broke tackles. Let's go, man. Let's go. Okay. I mean, this is probably the drive, though. If Raiders can't get a touchdown on this drive, I'm going to be fairly confident we can just start killing this game out. Run the ball, bleed the clock. This is their drive to make this game interesting. Josh Jacobs is back. He's breaking tackles. Horrific tackle by Derek Barnett, but luckily enough, Darius Slay's able to bring him down. Oh, there we go. Harris did get a good tackle there. It is 3rd and goal. Phenomenal chance to bend, not break. Then again, they got to be in 4-down territory here. So we got Davion Taylor looking to make a play. Live up his, what was he, a 3rd-round pick out of Colorado? Not a great pick. It did not really get through there. Couldn't find his way through the traffic of linemen. Josh Jacobs gives the Raiders a little bit of a pulse here late in the 3rd quarter.
I don't think you have any idea how fast I really am. I'm fast as fuck, boy. I'm fast as fuck, boy.
You win some, you lose. That's Madden, man. You win some, you lose some. For every game that we get the right bounce, we will have nonsensical one-hand interceptions, fumbles on every sack. Every time we get breathed on, it's a turnover. Madden just was like, you know what, C4, we're going to appreciate you picking on the Eagles here, making them good. We're going to give you a good roll of dice for the debut episode. Let's go Quez. Let's get Quez involved. Doesn't get the first down, but close out the 3rd quarter. Jalen Hurts, 10 of 12. Let's go. Outstanding. Miles Sanders has been unstoppable. Not so much inside. Inside runs have not been our bread and butter. As shown right there. Good tackle. I think that's former 1st-round pick Solomon Thomas of the 49ers. Making a big old play there. I think it is time to throw the football here. Worst case scenario, you know, we can just get mobile. Jalen Hurts, scramble. Doesn't have to be a touchdown. That's not a great read. We will scramble. No fumble. Fights his... Oh, that should be it. That looked like he got in. Knee might have been down on the 1. Jonathan Abram made the tackle. Let's just punch in with Miles Sanders at this point. Chewing away at the clock here. Got about a minute shaved off in the 4th quarter. Sanders, let's get some good blocking. Let's run right behind Jack Driscoll. And we get tackled into the end zone. And that is a 40 bomb on the sticks here for the Philadelphia Eagles in episode 1. It's terrible tackling on the screen. Josh Sweat pulls up with an injury. Very little depth at defensive end. I think we're going to have to call in Milton Williams. Oh, we actually got Ryan Kerrigan. Okay. As you like to talk about a veteran as like an ageless wonder, and Ryan Kerrigan has very much shown his age. Oh, that's torn labrum. That's not good. Fletch double teamed. Works his way out the guy and wide open. Darren Waller. Raiders can get a stop here, which they have not shown any signs of getting stops defensively. Could be an interesting finish. Got a 3rd and 9. A little worried. First down here. I'm not saying first down ends this game, but first down certainly helps us secure the victory. We're going to scramble. We're going to go to Dallas Goedert. Breaks the first tackle. Not much you can do after that, and Raiders did get their stop. Could be. Come on, get the gog, baby. Grab it! That's a gog! First punt! Everything's going right. Everything. Great tackle on the screen. Vontae Maddox, 3rd and 7. You know, you got Henry Ruggs, right? You know? You don't have the fastest corners. I know you maybe don't want to play big play Slay there, test him. But what is it? Like, there we go. Oh. We'll just jack him up high. Ryan Kerrigan. Good tackle. 4th and 1. We're going to 2-minute warning. You need... Whatever, man. Raiders are killing their own clock off, and that's fine by me in front of their home fans. There's no way they're punting this. Are they seriously? Are they waving the white flag? Okay. There you have it, man. I mean, we made them quit. I think that's the best thing. When they punted that ball, clearly they had a chance still. No faith in their team. We made the Raiders quit. I don't like that. I don't like taking pictures with the opposition, especially Why is Jack Driscoll getting in on it? Well, that is a hell of a, that's as good of a debut. That's as good of a game as I've been able to put up here on the channel. So hopefully it was well worth the wait. I mean, I didn't see one weakness from the squad. The only downside is literally the injury to Josh Sweat, torn labrum. Probably not an overnighter. You know, he's got to be down for a little bit, but 42-24. That is how you start a series, and it might only go downhill from here. You got a tougher schedule, but this was a winnable game. You look at the Philadelphia Eagles schedule. Raiders has always been a winnable game. Jalen Hurts, perfect on the day for a quarterback that came with so many questions, going 12 of 14. Didn't have to make tough throws. Took the throws that were there. That's exactly how you scheme and game plan to maximize Jalen Hurts' potential. 3 touchdowns, no picks. Had a hero run there from Jalen Reagor. $196, 3 touchdowns for Miles Sanders, 50 yards Kenny Gainwell, 43 for Jalen Hurts. That is the rushing attack Philadelphia Eagle fans are thirsting for. 4 catches, 61 yards and a tutty for Devontae, 55 and a tutty for Goddard, 94 and a touchdown for Jalen Reagor. Would have been nice to get Quez Watkins more involved. You can't feed everybody. And on the defensive side of the ball, Darius Slay led the team. 4 solo tackles, 7 total. Maddox and Singleton. We had 2 TFLs, 2 sacks for Fletcher Cox. I don't know if he might get the game ball. If you had to throw it a game ball, who would you give it in the comments section? It's between Sanders and Cox. I'm going to assume Miles Sanders. He almost had 200 freaking yards rushing. But that is a dominant way to start the series. Very happy with it. Very, very happy with it. Follow from that game, we have an upgrade for Miles Sanders, and rightfully so. Knock him up to an 84 overall. One hell of a performance. And we can just say we were resting him for the right time. It's not like he had a lot of wear and tear this season, and we finally let him to just explode all over the competition. Don't know why we didn't. Are you supposed to get like your staff point thing? Because I think we did hit a lot of our goals. Oh, there we go. There's the goals. Let's see. I know we got the first down, the weekly goals. Okay, we can't really see it right now, but I guess off the main hub here, we definitely got our 15 first downs. We rushed for 150 yards. Didn't allow, the rushing touchdown wasn't there, but ultimately the game plan, all of our goals, hitting on almost all of them. It was a perfect game week with only one little issue, and is this injury to starting defensive end Josh Sweat. It is going to probably 4 weeks. We'll get him back. Could have been worse. I mean, the injuries here are pretty brutal. Obviously, Brandon Graham, Brandon Brooks. But we will be getting Brandon Brooks back for the end of the year, which is good. Josh Sweat will be back for the end of the year. Kevon Wallace getting back for the end of the year. So those are going to be some nice reinforcements, more so here on the defense side of the ball. But we're going to need someone to step up, be it the veteran Ryan Kerrigan. Maybe we move Milton Williams to defensive end, but we are going to have to figure out who is going to fill in and step up for Josh Sweat. And for our first way to spend our staff points, I was actually going to go with player personnel working on the contracts, but because we can't and haven't been able to use Fletcher Cox's X Factor, I think the most important thing right now is getting X Factors on for the DC so that we can have Fletcher Cox, who was already very dominant in his debut game, be even more dominant going forward. And then we can just hopefully get 8 points next week and be able to get the first spot here in the talent tree for the player personnel on the contracts, which we desperately need to help because next week we will start looking at contracts and figuring out who needs to get re-signed. But that will do it for me here today, guys. Thank you very much for tuning into the first episode of our brand new Madden 22 main channel franchise with the Philadelphia Eagles getting the perfect victory. Very happy with how things went. Very happy with Jalen Reagor, guys that we told about. It's a clean slate. You know how I feel about them in real life. I mean, Reagor makes plays like that. He's going to be that dude going for it. So very excited. I think it's going to be a quick turnaround. Probably not tomorrow, but I'm hoping maybe Thursday we will have another episode. Also want to get your feedback. How many games do you guys want to see per episode? Do you want me to go just solo dolo with more gameplay, or squeeze in 2 games per? So the next episode would be week 8 against the Lions, week 9 against the Chargers. And now looking at that week 8 game against the Lions, I think we have a great opportunity trying to break even here at 4-4 next week. But thank you very much for watching. As always, your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Trying to work our way up to 150,000 subscribers. That'd be pretty awesome. We can hit that sooner than later. Leave a comment about how you're feeling about this series. Happy with the Eagles? What player are you looking forward to maybe getting a little bit of a redemption? Is it Jalen Reagor? Is it Jalen Hurts? Is it Alex Singleton? There's probably a couple Alex Singleton Hive guys out there, but let me know in the comment section below. Thumbs up is all I ask for on the videos. The likes help out my channel, help out my content in the YouTube algorithm, and I very much appreciate it. And I'll see you guys back in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace out.